Hello, I'm Arvid David, and guess what today is? Today is the great day that I pick up my brand new bike, a Royal Enfield Himalayan. What can I say about the bike so far? I kind of like it, but here's a long story, which I'll be sharing with you on this journey. What can I say about a bike quickly? It's I bought it second hand. I got it from Thunder Road, Bridgend, which is not far from where I live. Service is always great from Thunder Road, I have to admit. Plus, also, there's a cafe upstairs, and it ain't too bad. You get yourself bacon and eggs in there. But I wouldn't on an international because for some reason everybody turns up there for a breakfast. But anyway, rugby international that would be. Right, okay. As you see now, we're on the road. Well, I'm on the road, that is. And I've left Thunder Road. I'm now making my way down towards Bridgend Industrial Estate. Thunder Road's not far from there. It's kind of in the road behind there. But I mean, you look it up on a map anyway. Now this journey is going to be quite long because obviously I'm heading back through the Rhondda. But it's going to get a little bit exciting too. Anyway, listen, I hope you enjoy it. I will speak to you more now shortly about Bridgend Industrial Estate once I'm near the door, as it were. As you see now, I'm taking my time, as I say, it's a new bike to me, so I've got to kind of get used to it. Plus also, it's obviously been standing in the showroom for a bit, so we're just as you can see, I'm warming the bike up, really. So, what you've got here now, as I say, I mean, this is one side of Bridgend. Oh, yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's pleasant enough. As I say, I don't really hang around this area much. It's all right in the town centre itself, but to me, it's just a little bit overbuilt. But I mean, that's my own snobbish opinion, really. But there you go, that's life. But I mean, you've got police training headquarters for South West Stabbury and Bridgend. There's a lot of industry here, which is good. At the end of the day, we need industry, don't we? Right, I'll leave you carry on. Like the keen ones, keep an eye on the left, because you're going to see like what I would call a blast shelter, as it were, coming up on the left-hand side. There'll be a reason for that, because during the war, Bridgend Industrial Estate was actually ROF Site 2, Factory Site number 2. Filling factory number 2, actually, to be correct. And what that was used for, it was the Royal Ordnance Factory that did a lot of manufacturing of military equipment, explosives, bullets, etc., during the war. And interestingly enough, at its peak, it actually employed around 40,000 people during the war. If you get a chance, have a look and Google it, and you'll find a little bit more about the history in itself. But what I do know is it actually shut down, I think it was in 1945, obviously at the end of the war, and I think it was used for storage until, I think it was 1946 or something like that. And then obviously the site would have been sold off, and I think the remnants of the buildings it's quite a large site. It actually goes right away back to the building, which is South Stabbury Training Headquarters, and I think the main old building there was probably the administrative offices for the ROF. But again, that's something for you guys to look up and play with. But what else can I tell you about that site? Yeah, there's lots of factories there now. And there was a pub called the Pied Piper, but they changed the name now. It's good, family kind of thing. I think it's like a brewer's fair kind of thing. It's really nice enough. You got sprogs and stuff. You can go in there and have a meal and have the kids terrorise the play area, as is the normal with those kind of pubs. Anyway, That's a piece of boring information. There are other places as well on this route, which I will tell you about as we get a bit further on. Enjoy. Right, on the right-hand side, and I would imagine it would have crossed over on the left as well, funnily enough, there was a Royal Navy supply depot. That makes sense because, as you say, it's just down the way from what was originally the armory, should we say, where they used to make bombs and stuff. But it's now pretty much level. I think the council they've leveled the buildings now. That was quite recently. And the council use it as a storage area now, but I don't think you can really see it from the angle of the camera. But if you ever drive down there, it was actually on the right. There's obviously a lot of other construction I would have imagined, during the war and everything. But again, I mean, it's just a little piece of information, probably useless really these days, but just something to talk about at some point. I said enjoy the ride. I'll tell you more in a bit. I say boring, I'm just putting myself down really. Anyway, let's talk about the bike. What do I think about it? Well, at this point I'm thinking, ooh, it feels rather naughty. It's very comfortable. Because of injuries I have and everything else, it's just a very comfortable position for me. I'm sitting upright, there's no more forward control. I know it's not as fast as my BMW, but then I didn't buy it for that. But could I go on some nice long journeys on it? Well, I think I can. We'll find out because we're going to test this little baby out. But at the moment, no, it's really nice. It feels quite nice, and around cornering on this roundabout, on the bends, it feels really quite nice. It's got a nice sound to it too, which again you can't really hear here because I don't have the microphone functioning. But they've got quite a nice little sound on them. And I have to say, this is actually the very first, I suppose, British bike, well, it's actually Anglo-Indian bike that I've ever ridden. An interesting fact about Royal Enfield is I think it's one of the motorcycle companies that's been the longest ever in production. The production ceased in the UK. I mean, I know a lot of people out there could probably look this up. I'm not going to bore you too much with it. But production stopped in the UK, I think, of the Royal Enfield. But what happened was it was continued in India, which is an Indian family took it over. And to be honest, I mean, they've done a good job. They've kept the company going. And if you go on the internet, the Royal Enfield have actually taken the Himalayans to the South Pole, so that might be worth looking up. Anyway, that's enough of me bigging about it because I'm gonna have some moaning coming in a bit. Don't you worry. But no, as in the ride, great comfort, great. I am actually really enjoying the bike. It has a nice feel to it. It really does. If you get a chance to test drive one, definitely do it. Anyway, I'll leave you carry on. Now, look up the pricing with Royal Enfield, like for a new one. It's all up for a second-hand one. But if you go new, I think it's up. To be honest, I think you'll do a lot of things those BMW GSs can, and for a good 10 grand cheaper, I reckon. So it's worth it. If you look at it as you're on a budget, it's a good little budget adventure bike. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect you to be doing motocross on it. I don't think it's that kind of bike, to be fair. Plus, I think I might be a bit old for that kind of thing. Well, those young men jumping around in the mud on them things. No, I don't think I would really be doing that. But anyway, I mean, it's a personal choice, isn't it? Anyway, listen, right, I'm going to carry on with the journey. see that? You see that sign? There you go. When God's country now, run the current tough, what's the ronder in it? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we're coming down this road here, and I think it's probably next roundabout. You'll see now. There's a new studios all set up there, Dragon Studios. I see it come up on the right on the roundabout in a bit, I think. Actually, I think it might be just coming now. Don't worry, I don't think we'll see anyone famous or anything. Not that I'd be paying attention, to be honest, because I'm riding my motorcycle here. I'm not worried about that kind of thing. Enjoy. Right, as I was saying, the Dragon Studio is going to come up on the right, on the roundabout. Now, around this area, there used to be what they call an open cast pit, if I remember rightly, and then I think there's also an installation factory which caused some problems many, many years ago. The open cast pit was open for some years. I don't exactly know when it's closed, but we're coming into a town that's actually called Clanharan, and I used to live there as a very young person, a child really. What else can I say about it? And Clanharan has expanded quite a bit since I lived there. Like all these new builds now, you've got a co-op and everything else that was never there when I was a sprog. There was only a couple of shops, to be fair. But and then as I grew old, I used to go into the Clanharan Rugby Club, so used to have some good times in there. Anyway, I'll tell you more as we go around. As you can see, there's all these new estates on the left and right. Well, these were all like fields, to be honest, when I was a sprog. I think this is like Cardiff overflow, I suppose, because Cardiff isn't actually very far from here. So, it's commutable is what I mean by vehicle. But yeah, it's changed so much. Sometimes, I mean, it all looks pretty, but sometimes I look at it and think, well, perhaps they should have left it alone, because it just looked prettier, but there you go. That's my own whinging and whining, to be honest with you. I love the country, and that's just me. But no, Clanharan used to be a nice little town to live. Anyway, I'll leave it to it. Right, we come to roadworks shortly now, just on the railway bridge. On the left, you'll see Clanharan Rugby Club. And there used to be a bar on the right, which you won't see anyway, but I think it was the original Clanharan Rugby Club going back 100 years before the war. As we go around, once we're over the bridge, there's a pub there called the High Corner. And that used to be a lovely pub to go in, especially you could take your family and you used to get quite a nice meal in there. I don't know what it's like these days. I mean, I'm talking going back in, when's the last time I went in there? I think it was probably about 1989, 1990 or something, a long time ago. But yeah, it's just a nice place to pull in. The thing is, a lot of traffic at the moment because the road works, so it's a bit frustrating. Because this road gets used quite a bit to get to a place called Porthcawl, which will be another journey we'll take you on in the coming weeks. Anyway, enjoy the ride. Right, obviously you can see now we've left Clonharran. We've also missed the right turn for Clonharry, which I'll tell you about that place again. We're on our approach now to a place called Talbot Green, which is in Clontressant, right? The top tip, double L, it's Cla, just in case you wanted to know. Pronunciations, that is. And we're going to come to a roundabout, okay? The first roundabout on the left-hand side was L'Oreal, as it used to be. Right? It's a different company running it now. And that was one of the places, you know, if you had a chance to work for, when I was growing up, it was a good place to work. Used to have Stadler's not far from me as well, thinking back. But anyway, that's something else. It's just a bit of, 20th century history, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, as I say, we're coming to one roundabout, and where the L'Oreal roundabout is. Then the following roundabout, we're going to do a right. Now, if you were to continue on, that'll take you into this village, Talbot Green. And I have to say, it's a lovely little village, actually. Many years ago, I used to go to a pub called the Hand and Squirrel, I think it was called, but it's gone now, which is quite sad. But if you were to continue up, it'll take you into the town Clontressant, which I'll take you there. Probably, I'd tell you what, I'll take you there probably on a Porthcawl run or something. And that's where Dr. David Price, I think his name was, lived. And he's worth looking up, a bit of history for you. But I'll tell you more about him when I go up there, and I'll show you the statue to him. Anyway, enjoy. Right, as you saw on the left, there's a new housing estate there. But many years ago, that used to be the it was South Wales Fire Brigade. They used to do all the training there. I can't remember, to be honest, my brain's not working. I can't remember the name of the ground. But I'll look it up. I'll tell you another day, because we're going to be using this road quite a bit, because, you know, this is on this one from, really. So, back on the trip. Sorry, I missed out. Remember I was telling you about Talbot Green? Well, that roundabout where I was saying the fireplace was, if you carry straight on, that would have taken you into the little village of Talbot Green. This is a new road I'm on now, which actually does save a lot of time. You know, you don't get so locked up in the traffic situation. So, as I say, this is a good little road. It's not a bad little road for riding a bike on, to be fair. I mean, you know, obviously don't be silly, don't go speeding or do anything silly, of course. And also, You know, for those that like them, there's a McDonald's on the left, which seems interesting on that, actually. Let's talk about it for a second. The funniest thing is, we've all been in lockdown, haven't we? For, you know, was it 18 months, 2 years or something? And what I find really strange is, without lockdown, it just seems to be these mass exoduses now to like McDonald's over here and KFC and everything else. I don't know if it's like that in England. It just seems quite mad, you know? Like queuing up on a Sunday for a KFC. What's that about? Anyway, enough of my moaning. Just food for thought. Enjoy. Right, as you see, I'm stuck in traffic. Well, it's not traffic, it's a traffic lights now. But moving on from there, you might notice I'm not weaving traffic or anything. I'm just taking my time because, you know, you gotta get used to your bike, and I have to say, I am really enjoying riding it still. It's really comfy. No, it's nice. It really is nice. So we're gonna be heading down now. We're heading out down now towards eventually like the A470. Which wasn't that of attention, but you'll find out why in a bit. Right, now the fun's going to start. Now, the more observant of you might see what happens, and this is a challenge, right, for anyone watching this video, is please tell me what it was that caused it, right? So I'm riding along, minding my own business on my lovely, lovely bike, which I have to say I'm really enjoying. And then suddenly, right, I go around this roundabout, and she throws hard to the left. And I'm thinking, oh, hang on. So obviously things going through your mind as it does being a biker. And then I look down and I've got a puncher. A front puncher. So somewhere on this stretch I've obviously run over something. So the keen viewers may spot what it was. So how this ends is that then obviously the bike starts to shake. You may see this on the camera footage. And then I am then nursing this bike down what was, I think, was formerly called Power Station Hill, as it were, towards the Esso garage, and I am controlling the bike by using the rear brake and you know, putting my faith in God to keep me safe, as it were, to get, you know, so I could just roll it to this petrol station so I could have a proper look. But the tyre is obviously getting flatter and flatter and flatter. And so there ends my journey, and why I'm probably a little bit washed out at the moment and fed up as I'm trying to get hold of a front tyre, because obviously it's not covered by warranties, are they? Like a puncture, is it? So it's not Thunder Road's fault or anything like that. You know, it's just the way it is. These things happen, and it's just unfortunate. The upside, though, is it's been a really lovely sunny day in Wales today. So actually, you know what? It was a bonus. At least it wasn't raining. Anyway, enjoy. So there you go. That's where she pulled hard to the left. And then I realised after making a visual check as I was rolling down the hill, as it were, that I had a puncture. Now, the disappointment to this for me was this, because I was going to take you to a couple of places. One being Treforest Industrial Estate, which you think, oh, it's just an industrial estate. Well, it has a nice bit of history to it, which I won't share now. I'll do that with you again on another trip. But what I will tell you is that a Cessna aircraft, I think it was in 2006, made an emergency landing there. I think it had engine trouble or whatever, and the only place it could safely land was on the Treforest Industrial Estate. Other than that, there was the A470. You wouldn't want to put a plane down there, I tell you. Anyway, I'll leave you with this for a second, and I'll So here I am now, gently rolling her down the hill, using the rear brake all the time, but trying to keep momentum going. Anyone who's had a front puncher knows what I'm on about. Don't get me wrong, it's not the first front puncher I ever had. I had a nasty one on the M4 once. But again, fortunately, I managed to keep the thing under control, and hey ho, obviously I'm still here. So, I hope you've enjoyed the trip. I hope you've enjoyed the journey. Sorry about a disappointing end, but, one can't help having a puncher, I suppose. I have some thanks for certain organisations. I will say, number one, Carol Nash was my insurance company. Well, thanks to them, I got recovery and everything, and they organised my recovery. I'll tell you more in a bit. Another great thanks is to the Cambrian Car Care Limited of Bridgend, who sent one of their boys out to recover my bike, and we got the rig back home. I can't remember the driver's name, but we had a good fun on the journey, good chat and everything else, and he was a really nice guy. And so a big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for covering me and my punctured Himalayan and bruised ego. Thank you so much. Now, another big thanks to all you subscribers out there, or 13 of you, who I thank so much. And if anyone else is watching this video and feels they want to subscribe, please do, because it's just nice to see that I'm sharing information with you, and you may be enjoying it. And that's my dog getting involved again, and that's another one I'll be telling you again about. Now, what other things have I got coming? Well, I'm going to have an attempt at a bit of cookery in a bit now, and so I'll probably put up, well, I'm aiming to anyway in the future, to have David's budget tummy tips, alright? So in other words, little quick meals you can do for yourself and stuff like that. It could be fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to getting back out on the roads on my Himalayan without a puncher. Hope to do something now this weekend, obviously. Listen, we're in bad times at the moment, as you know, with everything going on in Eastern Europe. I feel for everyone there, and they have my love. And right now, be nice to someone and make a stranger smile. And please, please, please look after yourselves and be happy. And a very big shout out to our Welsh boys over, all the British Army, to be honest, over in Estonia and other places. Thanks for what you're doing, lads. And hopefully this thing will all peter out and be sorted, and But who knows, eh? Anyway, listen, stay safe, everyone, and speak to you soon. Bye.